So I had the Rocket Survival Guide. And I was thinking that the book would like kind of look like a notebook or a journal, like the background on the slide, just like old gross paper looking. And the handwriting would be all messy and the pictures would be taped onto the page like that, like each corner. I'm not saying like every single picture, but a good portion of the pictures. And to say like survival guide, for example, like we would have a picture of the rowdy section in the yearbook, and under it you could say, to survive a volleyball game, you need to have the best rowdy section, or something like that. And the spin-off would be conceptual, and we would have how to survive, so like how to survive lunch, and it would just show like a group of people at lunch, how we eat outside, just like that or something. And the cover design would kind of look like more like this. I wasn't really leaning towards this, but it does show like ultimate survival guide, so it's just an example. But it doesn't have to be those colors. We would all agree on it, but definitely looking like that. And it'll be divided by like seasons, so surviving fall, surviving winter, and surviving spring. The divider pages will overlap. It's like somebody literally crafted it homemade, and the words, like for the captions, will look like they're on paper and they're handwritten, so some of it might be sloppy, depends. And the background, like I said earlier, would be how it kind of looks on this slide. And the student life pages would be probably like captioned how they survived the year. Like how they survived the trends, fashion, high school sweethearts, senior advice, rowdy sections, and the dances, because we actually have dances this year. And for the style guide, the pictures, like I said, they will be taped onto the page, and the text and captions will look like that, or sometimes randomly they'll look big like that. And there's an example again of the tape. And the colors are just neutral, not really like super bright because it's a survival guide. I didn't think that there'd be like pink or something. So yeah, like that. And thanks for voting for me, but why you should vote for me is they've never done this. I checked. It's fun and it's cute, and there's a lot of room for like creativity. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm done.
All right, stay up there for just a second. Now is the question and answer portion. Does anybody have any questions for McKenna?
Yeah. How would you like do it so that the pages are actually taped down, or is it just gonna look like it? Like looks like it, like yeah.
So in other words, Mrs. Shore will have to figure out how to come up with a graphic layout for that.
You'll do it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the writing, when you said it's like looks like someone wrote it, how are we supposed to do that? Like,
Well, I looked at fonts earlier. I didn't put it into my slide because I already turned it in. But I did look at fonts earlier, and there's like cursive. There's cursive, and then there's like this one. I think it's called Animal SC or something. But there's fonts on the computer.
So I do have a question related to that. So it almost is like backwards because normally like your headline, your display fonts, like the main headings, those ones are the more creative and kind of loose. So you're suggesting like where the captions are written and the essays will actually be more handwritten looking, and the headlines will be the more crisper, cleaner letters because that's where you should like the big one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it safe to say that the book should look like it's kind of like a beaten up book, like it's a well-used book? Worn edges.
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
say so.
All right.
I mean, it doesn't have to look ugly, but yeah.
No, but yeah. Anybody else questions? All right. Good job.